Hello and welcome. You're watching Trending Tonight with me, Sanketh Upadhyay. So in the middle of this election fever, we're discussing something very different. Now you would wonder why. We should also talk about West Bengal. We should talk about Sachin Waze and all the other stories. Yes, they're important. But there's another thing which is equally important and it concerns you directly. This app that you use for personal communication called WhatsApp, it seems, is at it again. What are they doing? Many people are now calling this WhatsApp's Dadagiri. Big Tech's Dadagiri all over again. They have announced their policy change and then it will almost appear have had a gun to the head approach all over again. First, the deadline was in the month of February, take it or leave it sort of a deadline. Now the deadline is 15th of May if you want to continue using WhatsApp. Nothing has changed in that policy. Absolutely nothing. We'll deep dive into all information and I will get you two crucial documents to show how the government wants something else. The government wants the privacy policy to be reviewed, but WhatsApp has set a new my way or the highway deadline. Where does the Indian government stand amid all of this? Or should we admit that WhatsApp or Big Tech considers the state of India a pushover and that the Indian state is helpless? That there is a data privacy bill which is in the works for a very long time. Until then, the Big Tech can do anything, whatever they want. Is WhatsApp, the big question that we are asking, bigger than the Indian government in this present context? That's going to be our top focus right here. Now with the help of the documents right here on the screen, where we would first like to start by showing you this page. Would request the producers to zoom in on this document because this is what came in or coming in on various WhatsApp, like on the top screen. So you will get this WhatsApp's terms of privacy and policy update. When you click on this, you'll have the same thing all over again, explained in greater detail than earlier. But the crucial point is, do you see this little button accept right here? There's nothing else. You can't deny. So it just says accept, right? Let me see if you can see it on the screen right now. I'm scrolling it up. Accept, right? Nothing else. Let's quickly move to the next page on why it appears that the my way or the highway approach has come all over again. Because after explaining in some amount of detail, this particular line right here, which we have highlighted also right here, it says the terms and privacy policy go into effect on May the 15th, 2021. They go into effect on May the 15th, 2021. And let me remove this so that I can show you what else it says. It says, please accept these updates to continue using WhatsApp after this date, which essentially means that if you do not accept these terms and conditions, you will not be able to continue using WhatsApp. The exact same terminology that was used in the February my way or the highway policy change. So that has come about again. Now, let's juxtapose this with what is the position of the Indian government. So here is a policy, and we've learned from our sources. We know that nothing has changed from what WhatsApp said earlier to now. There's been no update or change to their policy, no amendment to their policy. It's the same thing. So on 17th of March, let's see if you can zoom in right here. 17th of March 2021, there was a question asked in the Lok Sabha, and it read, action against WhatsApp, right? Shri Manoj Kotak asked the following questions. It said, will the Minister of Electronics and Information Technology be pleased to state whether some social media companies are taking advantage in view of lack of legislation, whether the government has taken any action against WhatsApp for compelling their users in India to accept their updated policy? Now, what is the answer? Let me scroll down. The answer right here is this. To safeguard, this is what the government is saying, to safeguard the interest of Indian users, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, MEITY, has asked WhatsApp to review. Look at these words that have been used in a government document. The government has asked WhatsApp to review the proposed, just one moment, to review the proposed privacy policy changes and also to explain the rationale of the same. The words are extremely clear. The government has asked WhatsApp to review the proposed privacy policy. And while all of this is happening, this is a document, it's not very old. It's dated the 17th of March. While all of this is happening, while the government has asked WhatsApp to review, WhatsApp has come with the same my way or the highway approach with a brand new deadline of 15th of May. Take it or leave it. If you want to continue using WhatsApp, agree with it. So that seems to be pretty much the position. Now let's, for the sake of balance and clarity, to give you perspective on both the sides, take a look at the arguments in favor of WhatsApp. What are these arguments? All messages on WhatsApp are end-to-end encrypted, the same point that has been made earlier, which means they are absolutely secure between sender and receiver. But you need to know this is only for personal chats, not for business accounts. So when WhatsApp was originally formed, it originally came into being, there was no concept such as WhatsApp Business. No one, not even WhatsApp or anyone else, can see or know the content of any message between two people. Again, laying stress on the fact that private WhatsApp conversation is going to be end-to-end encrypted. Nothing changes. This is the same argument that they made earlier. WhatsApp's privacy policy and terms of service update is an update like any other tech company, like any other tech company update. That's the point that they've made. These are arguments in favor of WhatsApp. Next point. With the new update, you'll be able to talk to more businesses on WhatsApp. This is completely optional. So if there is a business account, you can choose not to communicate with that business account. Again, a point they had made earlier. It's your choice whether you chat with a business on WhatsApp, and you can block or remove them, right? All arguments that they had made earlier. But the government, after listening to all these arguments, said that they've asked WhatsApp to review. And while the government asked WhatsApp to review this privacy policy, they went and announced a compliance date of 15th of May. Again, one more argument. The update provides further clarity and more detail on how your information is managed. So, from 1 page to 2 pages, and also a very detailed link on their website where they give out all the details. That's the point that is being made. Privacy and security of personal chats with family and friends will not change, says WhatsApp. It's up to the user whether or not to share your number with a business and can block a business at any time, the point that has been made earlier. Acceptance of new terms of service does not expand WhatsApp's ability to share user data with its parent company, Facebook, right? Now, this is a very interesting explanation. Of course, this is these are arguments that are coming in favor of WhatsApp, right? So this is a very important point. We'll put this to a discussion also. All right, there you have it. Let me now quickly put this to a discussion. I have with me Apar Gupta, lawyer and executive director of the Internet Freedom Foundation. We also have Uddhav Tiwari, public policy advisor of Mozilla, Gurshabad Grover, Program Manager, Center for Internet and Society, Jitin Jain, Cybersecurity expert, and Kanish Gaur, founder of the India Future Foundation. Thank you very much. This is an extremely important discussion, and I would like all of you all to speak freely and speak your mind. Apar Gupta, we'll begin with you first. How do you view this?
So, the latest privacy policy notification which has been given essentially should be viewed not as a change by WhatsApp in any sense. It is only in terms of a communication strategy adopted by it for its users, because there was a immediate backlash when these privacy policy changes were implemented. People for the first time possibly were reacting in a manner because they had a greater sense of perception, what value their personal data holds, and were questioning WhatsApp on social media. But also, a large number of them were shifting to a similar functionality offered by what is called Signal, or somewhat in certain deployments of Telegram. So they were shifting to other instant messaging platforms. The second thing, just much more focused towards what the government needs to do, is come out with the data protection bill. And the recent responses, one which in fact emerges from Mr. Manoj Kotak's query itself, and the second one with Pragya Singh Thakur in the Parliament on March 17th, is that the government is non-committal on a timeline. It is not stating when this bill will be introduced. And the third big block I would like to address is that when you do have this kind of law and regulation, then companies like WhatsApp are forced to comply with it. That sets a very strong legal boundary for them to act, which it has happened, for instance, in the European Union, where the privacy policy is very different.
Correct. So and the same policy is not applicable there.
Exactly, which is because of the regulatory framework applicable, which makes it incumbent not only on WhatsApp, but it flows from a duty which needs to be there in law. Hence, the question should not only be posed to WhatsApp, but should also be posed to our own legislators.
Okay. I think that's a very, very significant point. Why is the data protection bill lying in limbo for so long? The government does maintain that it has been brought in, but it is going through extensive discussion. It's about time that the process is expedited. Jitin Jain, one of the arguments that is being made in favor of WhatsApp is that, a lot is being said about sharing data with Facebook, which is WhatsApp's parent company. You must consider these following examples also. Google Maps and several other Google apps, Apple apps, etc., all share information with their respective parent companies as a standard industry practice, and in fact it is necessary to share to protect the users. In case of WhatsApp, and I'm reading out from the arguments that have in fact been made in favor of WhatsApp, this is the basic minimal info that helps to protect users against spam, scams of various kinds. What would you have to say to this explanation? Jitin, your microphone. I think you're on mute.
Yeah, hi Sanket. So it's an excellent example that how to compare apple to oranges. And I'm sure that, the only people who are speaking in support of these arguments in favor of WhatsApp is the WhatsApp itself, or their proxies whom they have been funding and front-ending to speak in different public forums to spin the narratives in front of WhatsApp. Second, Google is not collecting my personal data, the conversations, right? So you can't compare Google Maps to WhatsApp chats. They are two different products. Second, WhatsApp was bought by Facebook. And when it was bought, there were commitments, public assurances, public commitments, which were given from the highest level that these two platforms will never be integrated and there will no monopoly which would be created. Now, WhatsApp is continuously going back on those words. And sorry to say, it's Facebook now, which is the owner of WhatsApp. Now, I think just a month ago on your channel, they said when there was a public outcry that no, nothing will happen even after 15th May. People don't accept our policy. Their accounts will not stop working. We are not forcing anyone. Now, here is in policy. They are saying that if you do not agree with this, new policy changes, you will not be able to use WhatsApp. So your WhatsApp account will not stop working, but you will not be able to use. So ये कौन सी ऑक्सफोर्ड की इंग्लिश है मेरे को नहीं समझ में आता बिकॉज मेरे को इतनी समझ है कि 15 को आप नहीं दबाएंगे तो नहीं चलेगा
my way, or in other words, my way or the highway approach. Take it or leave it.
Last Sanket, as you rightly said, I think these big techs today have a feeling that they can do anything in this country and get away. Be it Twitter, be it Facebook, or be it WhatsApp. They think you don't comply with the government order, you become an extra constitutional authority sitting in America and you can do whatever you want. Here is WhatsApp, despite a government request assurances, or they think that because there is no data privacy bill, everyone in this country can be bought, managed, or taken care of.
Yeah, but
by
then
other
as Apar
considerations,
said, questions should
simply
be
they don't
asked of
have
the
a free run.
legislators also. Questions should be asked of the lawmakers also on why they are procrastinating on a data protection bill. Very quickly, Mr. Gaur, I want to come to you and ask you what you think about this policy change, because clearly nothing has changed. You've seen the government document dated the 17th of March. As late as 17th of March, the government says that it has asked WhatsApp to review its policy, and yet nothing has happened. What do we make of this then?
So first of all, we need to understand what WhatsApp is doing is impacting one part of the business. There are primarily three applications: WhatsApp Business, WhatsApp Consumer, and WhatsApp API. The changes are primarily on WhatsApp API, on which they're asking you to consent to the new policy. Nobody is forcing you to accept, you can always choose not to respond to WhatsApp business communications which are happening through API. Now, the bigger issue is there are people in this forum who have not read through the policy, who have not understood the policy, and are making tall claims. Very important, you go through the policy yourself first, right? The consumer communication remains end-to-end encrypted. And this is something that we should read through and then make such comments or judgments.
Okay, Mr. Gaur.
Secondly, the data protection bill has been sitting in the parliament for more than 1 year now.
Okay.
Right? And we haven't seen that coming to, seeing the light of the day. Now, if there are changes for which WhatsApp is seeking consent, it's giving a time of 5 months, which is they're giving a leeway. If you look at some of the other businesses which do changes in their policy, they don't even inform the customer that they've made the change.
Mr. Gaur, can I just ask you one simple question? One simple question. If I do not accept this policy, will I be able to continue to use WhatsApp with, non-business accounts, just personal accounts? Because the policy, the way it is documented, it says that if you want to continue using WhatsApp, click agree.
So again, this is a policy of WhatsApp, which you have to consent, right? There's a new policy. So it's a company's policy which has changed, right? That has changed.
Which means I cannot communicate
business
with personal accounts.
Which is going to impact the way communication has been happening, right? So the change
which means come the 15th of May,
API.
I cannot communicate with personal accounts simply because WhatsApp wants that metadata. And nothing has changed.
They are following, let me correct you here, Sanket. This is the norm they have to follow. This is the law of the land they have to follow. They have to comply to the guidelines which have been laid out
very
by
quickly.
MITI.
Sure, Mr. Grover and Mr. Tiwari have not spoken, and I have very limited time now. So, Mr. Grover, let me now come to you. We've discussed this in the past also. Why WhatsApp is very different from other apps is because this is extremely personal. You have personal communication with people, with family, and there is some sanctity involved with this instant messaging app. So when you talk about monetizing an aspect of WhatsApp, that's what upsets a lot of people.
Yes, Ankit, I think it brings up two important things that we need to discuss. So the first is that on the privacy policy, we should be on the same page about what is changing. And what has really changed is that when Facebook first started sharing personal information of users acquired through WhatsApp with the parent company, they had an option for users to opt out of this data sharing. And this option was available for a limited time. But for years, this option has not been available. So if you did not opt out, then that ship has unfortunately sailed. In this update, Facebook has removed a reference to that option. So regardless of whether you think this event is important in the sense of communication privacy, I think it has rightly brought public attention to a problem that is not just applicable to WhatsApp, but to all companies that provide free
and the solution, as Mr. Gupta said, is in a data protection law. You bring in a strong law.
In addition to data protection, I'd also say that competition policy is another aspect that we need to bring in.
Interesting.
Because WhatsApp can take users for a ride, not just because there is no data protection law, but also because that they know that they are in a dominant market position and therefore can choose to impose any policy on the people.
Okay. Final comments of Mr. Uddhav Tiwari. Mr. Tiwari, where do you stand on this issue, and do you feel that at least this my way or the highway approach should be done away with? I mean, you can't force people, no? And to compare WhatsApp with any other app, I think is also injustice.
Thanks. I mean, I would say that this move really showcases the broader concerns around how broken the advertising-based web ecosystem is and why it really needs urgent reform to protect the privacy of users. As long as there are apps and services that are broadly available for free and users will be forced to part with their data in order to avail of these free services, many of these concerns are always going to be a part of the debate, and the power dynamic that exists between such large platforms and individual users is too disparate for any meaningful change to happen unless we really get a strong data protection law. The current privacy policy actually clarifies practices that were already being carried out by WhatsApp for quite some time. So I think that users should utilize this opportunity to make an informed choice about how their data is being utilized, especially with regard to businesses. And there are also other privacy-preserving alternatives like Signal that are available in the market that users should move to if they value their privacy more. I do think it's important to, however, also talk about other facets of WhatsApp, like end-to-end encryption, that are currently also under attack in India via the intermediary liability rules that have been recently notified by the government. So on one part, we have a privacy policy that may be bad for the privacy of users, and even independent of the data protection law, we also have other laws and regulations that may force such platforms to weaken privacy protections that already exist for such users, and that's something we should keep in mind too.
Sure. Okay. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Thank you very much, Apar Gupta, Uddhav Tiwari, Gurshabad Grover, Jitin Jain, as well as Kanish Gaur. At the end, one should just know this, that whether it is Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or any other, app, these are all public apps. You share data publicly. WhatsApp is personal. And that is why, whether you share data or metadata, at the end of the day, you are monetizing something that people think is personal. Big tech must think about this, and the government must think about protecting the data. Will they expedite the data protection bill is the big question. News continues right here on NDTV.